Hi guys, it's April, and it was an interesting weekend. This past weekend was Mangalove Readathon from the 14th to the 16th, in which I just tried to read as much manga as I possibly could. I didn't get as much reading done as I wanted to, but I did get some reading done. In total, I ended up reading 7 volumes of manga. That ended up totaling 1,284 pages. I was reading about 428 pages a day over those 3 days, which means I was roughly sort of reading a manga every half day. If we want to break down my pages per hour, I do read manga quicker than I do a regular novel, especially since each of these volumes of manga only ended up taking me about a half hour to read, which means I only read for about 3.5 hours this weekend, which was a lot less than I was planning on, so I could have gotten more done, but then life happened. But coming back around to how many pages per hour I was reading, it was roughly about 367 pages per hour. So overall, stat-wise, it wasn't a bad reading weekend. Like I said, I didn't sit down and read as long as I wanted to. I was finding time here and there to just fill out my day. But I completed 1 series and I started 2 other series. I talked about in my TBR how I wanted to read Love and Focus. I did manage to read all 3 volumes. I absolutely adored this manga set. It is a story of a girl who ends up going away to school with one of her childhood friends to learn photography, and in the process, she meets some of these other kids in the boarding house that she's staying at, and she starts to learn a little bit more about herself and what her feelings are now that her grandfather has passed, and she's living more for herself and less for pleasing him. So if you like something cute and slice of life, I highly recommend this read because I just love the way that photography is interwoven through the whole story. I then had a poll set up on my TBR and also on Twitter to see what I should read next, and on both polls, Vampire Knight won. So I did pick up the 3 volumes that I had sequentially. I do have volume 14, so I need to get a few more volumes between 3 and 14, just missing a few. But eventually I will get them because I did enjoy reading these first 3 volumes. It is a story of a school that has both a day class and a night class. The night class is consisted completely of vampires, and it is the job of our main character, Yuki here, to make sure that the 2 classes do not intermingle because most of the world does not know that vampires exist. I will say that as I was reading these, I started getting a sense of deja vu. I'm like, I know this storyline. I've had this storyline before. Where the heck have I seen this storyline before? Turns out that I have watched the anime before and didn't remember that I did. That's how long ago it was. I don't remember where I stopped watching the anime. I don't remember a lot of the plot things. It's just as they were happening here, I was seeing the anime play out in my head, which means I like the anime, so it makes sense that I would like the manga. I am going to start searching for the rest of this manga series just so I can continue on and see where things head. I think there's, 19 volumes altogether? I'm hoping to eventually get through the whole set because I did enjoy where some of this storyline started to go. And then last but not least, because I read all that I had of Vampire Knight currently on hand, I decided to pick up the next book that was winning in the polls, and that was Alice in the Country of Hearts. I only read the first volume of this one. This was a last minute, I want to test the waters on this one. And I'm glad I did test the waters because this is such a bizarre read. I think I'm going to enjoy it, but I don't quite know yet. This follows the story of Alice as she's kidnapped and taken into Wonderland. It does play on a lot of the traditional Alice in Wonderland themes and characters, but here we have Alice who wasn't a willing participant in this journey, and now she's trying to find a way home. She has to interact with other characters in Wonderland before she can, and it appears that everyone in Wonderland wants to like and or love her. So she has to figure out why her brain is doing that, if this is really her brain doing this, and just find a way home. And right now, I'm enjoying it. I think it's a little weird that we've got everyone wanting Alice right now, but we'll see where this goes. I have the next 4 in this series, so I'll probably continue on there. I know there are other Alice in the Country of Clover and other series like that. I would love to know what order I'm supposed to read any of these in because I'm a little lost on that. Is it Alice in the Country of Clovers that comes next in this series? I believe there's Joker and or Diamond. I don't know. I don't have this whole universe mapped out yet, but if you guys have any idea how all of this is supposed to be read, I would love to know. Just tell me down below, please. So those are all the manga that I read for the Mangalove Readathon weekend. I had great fun. I know a lot of you guys had way better reading weekends than I did. I would love to know what your favorite read for this readathon was. Just tell me down below, and if you have any recommendations for manga I should pick up. I'm just now getting back into reading manga. I have read a lot of manga in the past, but when I left college, I stopped reading them, and now I'm just kind of getting back into the feel of reading these again, and I'm really enjoying it. So recommendations appreciated down below. And of course, if you want to stay up to date every time I upload, subscribe down below, and I heart your beautiful faces.